Ready to start? Okay. Hello, everyone. I am Trisha Reynard, and with me,
Hi, I'm Carrie Johnston.
You've seen our names probably on a number of emails or on Facebook, and here we are.
Yes.
Okay. The purpose of this broadcast is to answer your questions about the conference, answer your questions about travel. What is the week going to look like? And also, what do you bring to Women2Women? So if you don't know it by now, the conference is scheduled for August 10th to August 17th. And with the 10th and 17th being airport days. So that is when you're going to be arriving and leaving. So what I'm going to quickly do, actually, we should start off by saying if you have any questions. I know that a lot of you have already submitted questions, and we will definitely get to those questions. Carrie here has a laptop because she's monitoring your questions as they come in. And I know we had quite a few already, right?
We do have some questions that are coming in, and as we're going through the broadcast, we're going to try and get to as many as possible. So even if we don't get to your question necessarily, I can also answer you offline through email. So if we don't get to your question because we don't run out of time or anything, don't worry. We will definitely respond back to you.
Right. And, I just want to introduce one more person, actually a couple of people that are here. One being Molly Lamenta. Molly, why don't you come right here between us? So some of you have heard from Molly as well. This is Molly.
Hi, nice to meet all of you. I can't wait to meet you when you come in August.
Molly, when did you did 2009?
2009, yep.
So Molly was with us in 2009, our Women2Women program there. She was with us last year as an intern and has come back to join us again.
Because it's so fun.
And we'll actually have quite a few alumni with us this year. I think we have about 14 that will be joining us. So in addition to the Empower Peace staff members, you'll have a lot of women who have gone through the program that can answer your questions. They can talk about your action plans. So I think it'll be a great year.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
And we have Sherazad that's coming in from Morocco on Friday. I know, it is. All right.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Okay, so why don't we start off with who is coming? I know that's a little out of line, but I figured we might want to say the countries who is going to be joining us this year.
Right now, we've got young women that are going to be coming from 17 different countries, and those are including Algeria, Bahrain, Cape Verde, Chad, Egypt, Iraq, Kosovo, Libya, Morocco, Niger, Palestine, Saudi Arabia, Spain, Syria, the Sudan, Uganda, and the U.S.
So this is a pretty diverse group.
It is a very diverse group this year, but we have a couple new countries, so really excited.
Yep. Some of you have asked where you're staying. You are staying at Wheelock College. Wheelock is located in Boston in the Fenway area. It is you'll see it right on your screen, but it's home to a variety of educational, cultural, and healthcare institutions. It's a very busy area, but most importantly, it is in the same area as Fenway Park, home of the Boston Red Sox. Now, you're going to hear about the Boston Red Sox quite a bit when you're here. It is our baseball team, and we are big Red Sox fans, and I'm sure you will be too once you leave here. We don't have any New Yorkers coming this year, right?
No New York.
All right, so Boston Red Sox fans all around, so this will work out well. And you will all ask, yes, there are shops. So you can, within walking distance, there are shops. You won't have a lot of time to get to those shops, but yes. And yes, there is access to internet and email.
Right, you'll have it. There's computers at Wheelock. There's computers in every dorm building. So you'll have access during break time and, when you're not,
there's very little
running
time.
around.
I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah,
very little time. And you can ask the alumni that are there. It's very little time. So with that, we can go into the schedule. Right now, we are finishing up the program schedule. It is very busy. We're doing things a little bit different this year, which I think is really exciting. Because each day it looks like we're going to be on a different campus. Now, again, we are right in the midst of some fantastic higher education facilities, campuses. I mean, some of the best in the world. Mm-hmm. And you will be visiting them while you're here. So on Saturday, that's travel day. So you're going to be arriving, and we will be at the airport with signs greeting you and putting you on a bus and bringing you to Wheelock. So you do not have to worry about what happens when you get off the plane, because we will be there. In fact, John, why don't you show your face, and Mike, so you'll recognize the people that are going to be here. Come on. Doug, come on. Yeah. Woo. Okay, so you will see all of us, and Molly, who you've met, and Doug right here. We are all going to be, including some of the Women2Women alumni, we will all be there at the airport, at each gate, with signs waiting for you. You will have no problems once you get off the airplane.
We're the behind the scenes people, but we'll see you.
Yeah,
all.
they're the
we'll,
people
we'll
behind
see you all
the
when you
camera.
get here.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right, so Saturday you will go to Wheelock where Carrie will be. You'll put them in their rooms. You'll get keys.
Right.
Lunch is available depending on what time you come.
Yeah,
dinner.
you'll get your binders, and we'll kind of just run through a little bit of what the program is and what to expect, and kind of set you guys up for Sunday, which will be the official kickoff of the conference.
Right. Saturday night, there's a dessert social.
Yep.
Which I always miss because I'm at the airport. But
Yes.
you'll have a great dessert depending on what time you come. So then on Sunday, you will get a copy of this program, so you do not have to remember all this. We're just kind of giving you a broad overview of what it's going to look like. But on Sunday, you'll have some free time in the morning, and that's going to be important because you're going to need to rest up. So if you want to explore the city for a couple hours, if you want to sleep in, please do that. After lunch, we start right up. So we're going into some icebreakers. We'll have conference orientation and really give you a really good overview of what to expect from the week because it's going to be a very busy week.
And we'll also kind of get into a little bit of action plans and what they are.
Yes. You're all coming here because you want to further your leadership skills. You want to make positive change in your countries. And we're going to be talking about some pretty intense issues. So you have to prepare for that before you come. You need to prepare, gather information, bring this with you, information about an issue you want to work on when you return home. Throughout the week, the whole week is designed to give you the skills needed to build an action plan. That action plan could be anything, and we're going to talk about that a lot more when you're here.
And when we start within the next week or two, I'm going to send out more information about the conference. Included in that will be kind of a broad overview of what the action plan is, and there'll be a worksheet. You do not have to fill this out or anything. It just kind of gives you an idea of what the action plan is and what kind of information we're looking for. Yeah. But we also provide some helpful websites that you can also go to try and find out more information on whatever topic that you want to.
Yeah, it's a working
research.
week.
It is.
That's what we're going to be doing. But on Monday, we are going to start off at Harvard University. And we are going to be meeting with the executive director of the program on negotiation. We are going to be talking with people about human rights, and you'll be spending the day in Cambridge. On Tuesday, you will be at Wheelock College, where you're staying. And again, it's all about skills building. So we're going to have a number of different people coming and talking to you, whether that's about, media or speech, different things that you're going to need and will want to include when you're thinking about your action plan. On Wednesday, you are going to Babson College. And on Thursday, you're going to be at the Fletcher School for Law and Diplomacy at Tufts University. So it's going to be a lot of traveling. We're not going to just stay on campus, which I'm sure,
Right.
From past years, they're going to be like, why can't we do that? It is a very, very busy week, and there's not a lot of downtime. Because in between all of the workshops and the different people that you're meeting, you also have to put together your action plan. And again, we'll talk about what that is, but an action plan, the action plan you're actually going to present at the State House, the Massachusetts State House, on Friday. It is a verbal presentation. You cannot use PowerPoint. You cannot use video. This is a verbal presentation that's about 5 minutes long, that you will be delivering to a panel, which will then give you feedback on your action plan. They will provide, whether it's positive feedback or what they think you might need to change, if there are organizations that they think you should connect with when you return home. And this action plan needs to focus on your home country. So if you're from the United States, it needs to focus on an issue you want to work on in the United States. Fair enough?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have any questions about that coming in right now? I think it's more about travel.
Some is on travel. Some is on, we need to speak a little bit louder. I think
Okay,
some people
thank
are
you
having
for that.
a little trouble hearing us. When are we going to post the schedule and that? So
Okay.
we will post the schedule online, but also when I do send out information to you within the next week or so, including all travel details, I will also send out the working schedule. So you guys will have a copy of that will be emailed to you as well.
Yeah. And just know, the schedule constantly changes. So you may get a copy of the schedule and we may add more onto it. So wherever you see free time,
No, there's
Don't count on that
a lot of
until you
cruise
see the schedule when you actually arrive.
No, not even then.
Yeah.
Wait until you hear it from us that you actually have free time.
Yeah, that's actually.
It has changed literally the day of. So, but you will have something to kind of give you an idea.
And that's because what happens is we contact so many great people that are they're experts in their field. And sometimes they're able to join us last minute. And because they're so awesome, we have to find a way to put them in our program. And that's what the change is. So we never actually take out a workshop, so you can forget that. It's always adding something that we think is worth adding. So, all right, I know everyone's talking about travel. I've gotten a lot of emails and Facebook messages about travel. So, Carrie, why don't we just give an overview of what that is, what's going to happen?
Okay. For everybody, it's a little bit different because sometimes some of you guys are being sponsored by the U.S. Embassy, and at times some of the U.S. embassies themselves are doing the travel. And I will let you guys know if, I'll send you guys an email if I'm doing your travel or if the U.S. Embassy is doing your travel. So we'll make sure that you get all the necessary details. But number one, I know everybody has sent in your confirmation form saying that you're coming. Second part is if you are coming from a different airport, if you're not coming from your home country, it's really important that you make sure and let me know that because I'm going by what you put on the form. So if something has changed and you're not going to be in your country, you want to fly from another country or something, it's really important that you let me know that because I'm going to start booking travel this week and next week. So that's really important that I know that information. And number two, we aren't doing any special travel. So if you're coming here for the conference and you decide that you want to stay in the United States for a couple of extra days to do, visit family or something, that's something that you're going to have to arrange. We'll send you the travel as we have it, and then it would be up to you to call the airlines and to make any kind of travel changes. And that would be fees that you would need to pay.
Right, and that's an important point because we do not do anything special with the travel. We're going to give you a round trip ticket, August 10th to August 17th. And from there, when you take that information, you can contact the airline and make the other arrangements.
Right. And incredibly important. If you guys, for all our international delegates that are coming, if you have not already made visa appointments, you need to do it immediately today. Because a lot of the embassies, you have a wait time that you're not going to be able to get right in to have your visa appointment. So you need to make the visa appointments immediately. If you have trouble, I know some of you are having issues that you're not being able to have a visa appointment until, the day of the conference or after the conference. Make the first available visa appointment you can. Send that information to me, to Carrie, and then that way we can then appeal to the U.S. Embassy to try and get your date moved up. But it's really vital that you guys make your visa appointments immediately. And I know Molly has been in touch with many of you through phone calls and emails, and you've been updating her as well. So thank you very much for doing that. We really do appreciate that because we won't book your travel until we know that you have your visa.
Yes. And although there are no guarantees that when we call the embassy that they'll be able to move up your visa appointment, we've been pretty lucky in the past and they've been very, very helpful. So, listen to Carrie, make that appointment right away. And if you have any questions, contact us. You can apply for your visa interview online and you want a B2 travel visa.
Right. That was and some of you, and this won't pertain to all of you, and if this does happen, I will let you guys know way ahead of time. And in certain times, you'll have to get a secondary visa, which is called a transit visa, and that is basically a visa that allows you to lay over at an airport. For the most part, we try and avoid that, but if it does become an issue where you do need a transit visa, we will let you know in plenty of time to get that. And I will contact you personally on that. So I just wanted to give you a heads up. Don't be surprised if something like that happens.
Exactly. Now, I know we had a couple of questions about visa interviews specifically in Cairo. And if you are still listening for our delegate in Cairo, send us an email. We can try to connect you with someone in the embassy. I believe the embassy is still closed, but we can certainly try to connect you with someone that may be able to be helpful in expediting your visa interview.
Right. And I know Myrna had contacted me once before, and we have emailed the embassy to find out what to do. So I just wanted to let you know that we are looking into that for you as well. So
Yes. Anybody else on travel?
No, I have to click on each one individually. So excuse me while I kind of.
All right, so I'm just going to fill in the silence here. Okay. The other piece is scholarships were extremely limited this year. And so we could not possibly provide a scholarship for everyone. If you have been accepted without a scholarship, what you need to do is you do need to pay that conference fee. And I believe the date is July 24th.
Yeah.
Because again, without the fee and without the visa confirmation, we cannot book your airline ticket. So please do that right away. And if there are any issues at all, contact us and we'll give you the information should you need it again.
Right. And for those of you that do have scholarships and if the embassy is sponsoring you, Empower Peace is not paying for any passport related fees or any visa related fees. For people that do have the scholarships, those are fees that unfortunately you will have to pay. So just to give you guys a heads up on that.
But across the board, there are, whether you have a scholarship or you don't have a scholarship, your fee, your scholarship, they do not include the cost of a visa, your passport, or luggage fees. That is entirely up to you.
And I think visa fees are around $140 US.
Right. And I don't know if it varies from country to country.
No, it's pretty much the same for every.
Okay. All right. Any other travel questions? What your fee does include is your airline ticket, all conference-related activities, food, lodging, and of course, ground transportation while you're here in the United States.
We're just getting some questions on the schedule, like what exactly are we doing at Harvard and what are we doing at the Fletcher School and that kind of information.
All right. So what we are doing at Harvard is you are going to first hear from the executive director from the Women in Public Policy program. And that is Victoria Butson. What Victoria is going to do is give you an overview of where women are right now in the world and where we need to be. We'll also be talking about what issues that you want to work on when you go home. So I already have an idea of some of the issues that you have all put in your applications that you want to work on. And that it ranges from where you are, whether it's domestic violence, human trafficking, early childhood marriage, access to healthcare, access to education. It really boils down to human rights, and we'll be focusing on that. Also at Harvard, you're going to be, like I said, working with the program on negotiation, and you're going to actually get some skills on how you negotiate. And that's going to be extremely important because, again, these issues are intense. They're not very popular, and a lot of people are not going to want to talk about it. So you're going to need to learn how do you negotiate around that, and how do you get support when you go home and you're working on these things. When you are at Babson, it's a very interactive day at Babson. I'm really excited about it because you're going to be learning the different thinking between what is a manager and what is an entrepreneur. And it's very interactive. You're also going to hear from a woman who is a human rights activist, and she's going to be talking to you about her program and what she's been working on. She also works a great deal on human trafficking. I know Molly is very excited about this because she knows this person, and she's phenomenal. At Fletcher, and if you're familiar with Tufts University and the Fletcher School, it is a premier institution, especially when we're talking about diplomacy. And you are going to be learning about how do you work with the media. You're going to be also learning from a professor about social networking and how you connect with people and how you get support for the issue that you're working on. In addition, we're going to be hearing from the dean at the Fletcher School and giving his experience. I mean, we'll have all their bios because every single person involved in our program is an expert in their field. They are a leader, and it is phenomenal that you'll get to meet these people and learn from them. And who are we missing? And then at Wheelock, again, it's going to be more skills building, and we will definitely provide the entire program to you beforehand. Again, that may change. We may add. So don't expect any free time. You're going to be busy from the minute you wake up until the minute you fall asleep. And it amazes me that you all get your second wind around 11 o'clock at night. I don't know how you do it, but it'll be a very busy week. Also on Wednesday, I forgot to add, in the evening, we have been invited to go to the Esplanade. So I don't know if you ever want to look it up online, Hatshell Esplanade, but we're going to a concert. One of our co-chairs is going to be performing with the Longwood Symphony Orchestra, so we're going to be outside. I'm assuming it's going to be a beautiful night, and we'll have a great time. And you'll love the Esplanade. It's a beautiful location. All right, any more questions?
the number, how many people will be attending the conference this year?
That is an excellent question because that number continues to change. And right now, it looks like we are going to have close to 70 people, including our alums that are joining us again.
Right. And one of the other questions I got was about tickets. For the most part, they're electronic tickets. So when I send you your travel information, you'll have your confirmation number in that. So you'll just bring a printout of your travel itinerary. And when you check in at the airport, they will actually give you the paper tickets there. So they are electronic tickets, and we'll send you all that information.
Okay. One thing that I know we're skipping around here. So Rich is probably having a great time trying to keep up with the PowerPoints. Yeah, he's shaking his head.
We're going to go to the next.
All right. So one thing that we have not said.
Very important.
This is the most important thing. Okay, out of everything we've said. Yeah. Only bring what you can carry. Okay. Some of you come here and you have luggage bigger than you. Don't do that. We're not carrying it. You are. Even if you have wheels, be careful. There are stairs in some places. Okay?
Yeah. Even at the dorms, there's usually the stairs to get up to the first landing. So
you are responsible.
You don't want to have to try and lug up a bag that weighs 70 pounds upstairs. And number two, you're going to be responsible for any luggage fees. So like overweight luggage or anything like that. So just be careful what you pack.
Be careful what you pack. I'm very serious about this. I'm amazed at the size of the luggage. Plus, when you're here, some of you really like to shop. And in the little time we provide, I'm amazed at what people come back with.
Yeah, they leave with another suitcase.
Right. Only bring what you can carry.
Right. And when you guys get your travel information, you'll know exactly which airline you're flying. So when you get that, I really encourage you to go onto that airline's website to find out exactly what your limitations are, like the number of bags you can bring that are free, how much each bag can weigh, that kind of information, because it varies between every carrier. It's different. So and it's even more different if you're just for our U.S. participants that are traveling.
Right.
So.
I mean, some airlines may charge you for one bag they won't. So that's really important too. Definitely check with your airline carrier. Find out what their luggage fees restrictions are. All right. So we off to the WeLock dorms now?
I think we are. So kind of about the dorms and what you should be bringing, what you can bring.
All right.
Because I'm getting some questions on that.
Oh, okay.
What should I bring for clothes, and should I bring a computer? And
all right. So, this is good timing then.
Exactly.
You will be staying at Wheelock College in the dorms. You will be sharing a room with someone else that you do not know. We do not take roommate requests. In the dorm rooms, you will be provided with a pillow, bed sheets, blanket, and 2 bath towels. You can bring whatever you'd like, again, if you can carry it. And like I said, you will have a roommate from another country. The dorms are not air conditioned, but they do provide a fan, so it can get quite hot.
Right. And there, in the common area on every floor in the dorm, there is an air conditioned area so that you can go in there and relax for a little bit. But yeah, like Trisha said, it's not air conditioned in the dorm itself.
And we're having like a heat wave right now, so
yeah.
It's
hot and humid.
It's very hot. All right. Computers are available. There's not one for every person, but they are available.
Right, and you'd be sharing them with other students who are going to be at Wheelock doing other programs.
Right. So you have to be respectful of the time that you're spending on it because everybody has to share the computers.
Exactly.
Can you bring your own computer? You sure can. But you are responsible for anything that you bring. So if you lose it, leave it somewhere, you're responsible for that. And that goes with cameras and phones and everything. So again, bring what you can carry and what you're not going to lose. Okay, so computers are available in the dorms.
And there is wireless that is on campus, so that in the dorms, you guys will have wireless access as well.
Okay. All right, so Carrie, we always have questions about calling cards and how to use it and conversion plugs, so you want to take that? Because you're usually the person they go to ask those questions.
We run on a 120 volt, 60 hertz cycle, so you guys, for all our international groups, you're going to need to have a conversion plug that you bring with you. You can buy international calling cards here. You can also buy SIM cards here as well. If you want to bring your phone and your phone has SIM cards, we can tell you where you can go to buy SIM cards to put in your phone so that they will work here.
Mm-hmm.
You should be bringing your toiletries, and like Trisha said, if you want to bring a laptop, camera, anything like that, you're responsible for it, but you definitely can bring it.
Right. In addition to what to bring, people always ask us like, well, how much money should I bring? That's really up to you. Again, we're going to provide you will be provided breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. We will provide all ground transportation for all conference related activities. So you do not need any money for that. So the only money you need is for whatever you want to buy for yourself or you're going to bring home. And luggage fees, in case you go over or have more luggage than you need.
If you have room in your luggage, you might want to have like the umbrella or a sweatshirt. Sometimes it gets a little chilly here at night. Lately it hasn't been. It's been pretty hot, but you might want to have something, sweatshirt, a light coat just to bring with you, because it can, weather here in New England can change pretty rapidly. Yesterday it was bright and sunny, and then literally 5 minutes later I was in the middle of a downpour.
Yes.
So it can, right, and exactly like Molly just said, comfortable shoes. You guys are going to be walking a fair amount, so make sure you have something that is comfortable to wear.
Right. And business attire. I mean, you're going to be visiting all of these different campuses. You don't want to wear like shorts. You want to dress the part. You're going to a leadership conference. So you want to bring comfortable clothes, comfortable shoes, but certainly you want to dress appropriately. Fair enough?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So about Massachusetts. We are in the Eastern time zone. That's going to be important for you, for everyone traveling over here. We talked a little about the weather. I wish I could tell you that it's going to be, one temperature every day, but it is definitely not. Hopefully it won't be this hot when you get here. But
yeah, right now we're looking at about 93 to 96 degrees Fahrenheit here in Boston, and it's very, very humid.
And I think I heard on Friday it's going to hit 100.
Oh, great.
That's what
I
I
haven't
heard.
heard that one. So.
That's what I heard. But on this bullet point, weather can change quickly.
Right.
And it does. Again, an umbrella is usually a pretty good idea. All right. So I believe we've hit all our points. And now we're just talking about do we have more questions?
Well, I have a question. Will there be a chaperone for the trip from my home country? We do have a couple of countries that do have chaperones coming.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Algeria.
Yes.
We've got a chaperone coming from Iraq, Niger.
But out of Baghdad.
Yes, out of Baghdad.
Yeah.
That's correct. Niger.
It depends on where you're from.
Right. It depends on
So
what
if you
country.
want to send us an email, we can certainly tell you whether or not you will have a chaperone. While you're in the United States, you will definitely have people around you 24 hours a day.
Right. We'll have Empower Peace staff. We have some of our alumni that are going to be on campus, and either Trisha or myself will be there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
We'll both be there. You're going to see a lot of us.
Yeah, you'll have our cell phone numbers. We'll give you our dorm room numbers so that if there's ever any issues, you guys can contact us immediately. So we will be there all the time.
Throughout the week, you're going to hear a lot about action plans. We're going to be talking about it quite a bit because, again, this is a leadership conference, and the whole point is to not only develop your skills, but to have you be able to go home and do something with those skills. In order to do that, you have to put a plan together. And throughout the week, we're going to be talking about action plans. So your assignment before you come to the United States is really to research the issue that you want to work on. Have some background information on it. Think about the organizations that are doing work in your country that you might be able to partner with. And understand the issue completely. And when you get here, you're going to be talking with people that also understand your issue completely and might be able to give you some ideas on what you can do when you go home. But that is an extremely important piece of this program. This is not just a week-long piece where you're going to meet some interesting people. We really want you to go home and do something. And that's why you've been selected to come here. All right, so on that, we also have a survey. So why don't you talk about that?
Right, and this will be in the information I send you within the next in the next week or so. We are asking every single one of you guys to do a quick survey. It'll take you about 15 minutes tops, and basically you're going to be able to go on, find your name, and you're going to say whether or not you've been in touch with anybody from other countries. And that's going to include whether or not you know them personally, you've talked to them on the phone, you've talked to them via email, you've talked to them via Facebook. It's really important that you guys do this questionnaire, and I will be monitoring it just to see every day to see who's doing it. This information is actually going to be what is used at the Fletcher School with Rusty Tunnard, who's going to be doing one of the presentations.
Mhm.
He's going to take the actual information that you guys have in your questionnaires, and he's going to be developing the program on that. So it's really important that you guys do this questionnaire. And like I said, I'll send out the information to you probably within the next week. So you'll have about 2 weeks to get the questionnaire done, and I will send out reminder emails to let you know, please get it done.
Yeah. Well, it's an important piece of his whole workshop.
It's really, really interesting to see when he starts pulling the information up, and you can see who you've been talking to and what you've been talking about, and who's doing action plans on the same topics. It's really informative, and I think you guys will get a lot out of it.
All right. Do we have any more questions? Are we that good?
Can we have the
everything.
Facebook or email of the girls from our country that are attending?
That is a good question. I don't know how to answer that unless we ask everyone.
We encourage everybody that is coming to, if you are on Facebook, to go to the Women2Women site and to to log on.
And this is like a phenomenon that happens every year. We have the official Women2Women Facebook page, but every year, which it's fascinating to me, somebody in one of the groups will start a Women2Women, whatever that year is. So I know that there's a Women2Women 2013 page, and I think it's fantastic that you're starting to meet each other before you arrive. But maybe the launching pad is our official Women2Women site, so whoever hasn't been added can be added to the 2013.
Absolutely, yeah. Go on and join, and introduce yourselves to each other. It's a great way for you guys to meet each other beforehand. I know over the past couple of years, it's been really great watching everybody that, sometimes if you have the same layover at an airport, the girls have arranged to actually wear a ribbon on their shirts so that, when they're, they'll arrange at a certain place and they'll all get to meet and fly, the rest of the leg to the US together, just talking via Facebook with each other, that they're just so excited to actually meet that person face to face.
Yeah. So, and that's actually a good point too, because I think that it seems like there's always a layover in France. Sometimes there's one at Heathrow.
Yeah, usually France.
So you'll be taking the same flight. So it would be great if you knew that you were with these people, waiting around. You can start talking and introducing yourself. So, and I love the ribbon idea and recognizing each other.
It's an easy way for you guys to recognize each other. If you make a designated meeting point and you wear something that you're all wearing the same thing, and you're really easily identifiable.
Especially to us.
Yeah, that helps us too.
Yeah.
Any airport warnings? The only thing I can think of here in the U.S. when you're traveling to the U.S., and it's probably an international rule, is if for any carry-ons, make sure you have that 3-ounce containers. You don't want to have anything bigger than 3 ounces, because they will take it from you and make you throw it out.
Yeah.
So that would be one of the things that I would say.
Give yourself plenty of time.
Yeah,
don't rush it. Give yourself plenty of time to get to the airport, get yourself settled. And again, don't worry about what happens when you arrive in Boston. We are going to be there.
Right. So when you guys come international, when you come out from, going through and doing all
I'm
your...
always at Terminal A. You're
you're
going to see me because I blocked that one off for myself.
Right. She is literally standing right outside the gates. She'll have her sign on. She'll have her sign with her, so you won't be able to miss her.
No, you won't. And for those of you arriving early and going to have dessert, save me some cake. I'm always so jealous.
Excellent.
All right. If you lose luggage, that's happened. Actually, this is a good point too. For your carry-on, you might want to bring an extra outfit or a toothbrush or something, because it hasn't happened a lot, but it has happened where we have delegates that come in and their luggage has been lost. Most of the time, their luggage is recovered within a day. We have had an instance where it took an entire week to get it back.
Yeah.
And in those cases, the other delegates were nice enough to let them borrow clothes. But again, be prepared. You're coming here for a week and you never know what's going to happen. So if you can fit an extra outfit in your carry-on, do that.
Right. Make sure and have our contact information in that carry-on, just in case,
When you check your bags, they're going to give you luggage tags.
Keep those.
Hold on to those just in case.
That's if anything happens and your bag is misplaced, we can actually help you at that point. If you have that little baggage information, we can actually call the airline on your behalf and try and help find where it is and get it back to you quickly.
Yes.
Another question: do we need to do any research about anything in the schedule? Just a heads up, beyond the action plans.
No, really, we want you to focus on researching your issue that you want to work on. That's important.
Will there be a chaperone from Libya? No, Libya does not have a chaperone that is attending. But like we said, once you get here at Wheelock, yes, you will have many chaperones who will be.
You're going to be so tired of seeing us. We're going to be everywhere.
We will be. And if it's not us, it'll be Molly.
Yeah, it'll be Molly or somebody else. How do we do?
I think we have hit.
All right, last chance. Any other questions coming in?
And one other thing, we will be doing a second webcast. We haven't exactly figured out the date, but it will be once you guys receive all of your travel information, so that I know we'll have the schedule, we'll have the schedule up for you at that point, so you'll be able to see what's going to be happening day to day. You'll have your travel information, and we can really go into any questions that you might have that you didn't think of today or that come up once you get this additional information.
Yeah. And I'm actually surprised every year that I don't hear from parents. If any of you have any concerns or your parents have any questions, they are welcome to contact us. I'm happy to talk to them, happy to answer any questions they may have.
Right. And one thing that we do send in that information, we give you a contact information sheet that basically it has all the U.S. embassies here in the U.S., and it also has Trisha's cell phone, my cell phone. So feel free to give a copy of that to your parents as well. And, they can definitely call one of us, if they have any concerns or anything. We are definitely there to answer any kind of questions that they might have.
All right. Anybody else? Is that it? All right. So just a quick recap. We will have another webcast. On that, we'll go into further detail about the program schedule. In your binders, there's going to be bios for every speaker that will be presenting throughout the week. So you'll have all that information.
One more question about the action plan presentation that is done at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Can you kind of go into a little more detail on that? Should they be practicing now? Any recommendations is what they're kind of trying to.
Yeah, this usually causes some anxiety. I'm glad this has come up. The action plan is what you build throughout the week. So I'm not sure that you can actually put one together right now. In this action plan, it's really whatever you can do when you go home. In the past, and some of our alums that are coming, they're going to share with you some of the things that they've done. I'm trying to think of like one in specific, but there's just so many and they're so broad. The presentation itself is verbal. So you're just presenting for 5 minutes. Now, if you're coming in a delegation or you have a friend that you want to work on an issue with, by all means, you can do that. That's entirely up to you. If you want to do this as an individual, you can also do that. The purpose of the action plan is to put your skills to work and have you do something when you go home. Now, these action plans shouldn't be, it's something that you can get done in 6 months. So if you came to me and said, okay, Trisha, I'm going to go do a conference for 100 women and I'm going to make it a week long, I'm going to tell you that that's a great idea, but that's more than likely not going to happen in 6 months. The biggest thing is, what's that first step you can take? And maybe that is a living room discussion with some of your friends to talk about an issue. Maybe it is a school assembly. Maybe it's a short film that you can put on YouTube, or you can post on our Facebook page and you can get your message out that way. For some people, they have organized workshops and talked about self-esteem and sexual harassment. Others have gone into classrooms and talked about the importance of women and the role they play in our society. For some, they've joined organizations and they've volunteered. They've traveled and they've, again, worked with children, and whether that's teaching them English or teaching them how to read. So really, this action plan is whatever you can do when you go home. And again, we're going to be talking about not just what is an action plan and what goes into an action plan, but what are you going to do when you go home and maybe your action plan isn't working? So how do you change that to make it work?
Right. You're going to encounter times that things aren't going to go the way you want them to go, and it's what you do. And we have had a couple of our alumni that have gone through and they have actually changed their action plans and done something different because of the obstacles that they have hit.
And that's really what I hope you learn when you come here, is that you can have a great plan and we can give you feedback on that plan, and that's what we will do. And if we think that your plan is too ambitious, we'll tell you that. I mean, we certainly don't want to be any type of dream killer. And I love the fact that you are that ambitious. But we also know that when you go home, it's not going to be as easy as it sounds, and you may have to adjust. So if your plan when you go home isn't working like you think, not a reason to give up. It's just a reason to change it.
And we want to make sure that the action plan, whatever you're doing, that you're safe. That's the top priority. We want to make sure that what you're doing, you're going to be safe doing.
That's a good point. And that's part of what the panel's role is as well.
Exactly. And that's something that, if you have questions, that you can also talk to Trisha, myself, some of the other alumni that are going to be there, because we want that your safety is first and foremost. For Harvard, will there be a tour? That's always a big
I would like to say yes. Right now, it is no. But, just because you're on the campus, I mean, it's not an official tour, but you will get to see Harvard Square and you will be in the area. And we're hoping to give you some free time that you will be able to explore Harvard Square. But I don't want to get your hopes up high.
Yeah, so, there won't be any 2-hour tour or anything like that.
No. There's no 2-hour block.
Yeah, we try and give you some time to be able to go and, take some photos and that, at least while we're getting there. Yeah. So we will try and definitely do that.
Listen, this is something we work on every year, okay? So at the end, when we give you the survey, what can we do better? You can save your time on telling us you need more free time. I know this. Carrie knows this.
We know this, yes.
But, we only have a week to tell you how to change the world. So, it's an action-packed week.
Are there going to be cultural presentations, and would you like us to bring any kind of traditional dress?
Somebody has a friend that came here before, because that is an excellent question.
There's a couple that have asked about traditional dress.
Yes. So. You know what? Right now, it is not built into the schedule, but that is something that we are trying to build into the schedule, because we think that that's a really important piece of getting to know one another, is getting to know where you're from. So I'm so glad you asked that question. Yes, absolutely. Whatever you want to bring from home, as long as you can carry it, please do. Bring your traditional dress. Bring pictures of your family.
Photos,
definitely bring photos. I mean, quite personally, I'd like to see it. I know you would too.
I
mean, we always learn quite a bit when people come. So yes, great question.
You don't have to do any kind of presentation or do anything, but even if you just want to informally talk, to other people that are at the conference, and like Trisha said, if you want to have pictures or anything like that, that's always fantastic to bring, and we would love to see them.
Right. And again, when we do our next webcast, we will give you a more formal overview of what your week looks like. And if we can fit in time, I know we try to do that every year, and we literally run out of time, and people, prepare these phenomenal presentations, and we just don't get to it. So I don't want you to do a PowerPoint presentation or a video,
don't prepare.
But if you can be prepared to talk for just a few minutes about your country, then we'll do our best to fit it in.
Right. Is there a safe in the dorm? No, there's no safe in the dorms. All the dorm rooms have locks on them, but there is no safe in the dorms.
Having said that, the area that you're going to be in is a very safe area.
Right. And then...
But of course, you're in a city, so you always have to,
Can we make a secret group on Facebook to know each other before traveling? Well, I believe there is a 2013 group already on the Women2Women Facebook page.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing another group, because you're probably going to leave someone out, and then you're not really getting to know everyone.
Yeah, so I mean, if you want to go into the 2013 one and, post in there, that's fantastic. But I would definitely try and discourage making a secret group.
Yeah. And only if we're invited to the secret group.
Yes, exactly. I think we hit
them all?
Yeah, I think. Facebook, we definitely encourage you to go on Facebook, get to know each other. And Molly. Molly said that you can definitely friend her, so Molly Lamenzo.
I think that's one of the best ways to reach us as well. I mean, you have our emails. So, obviously you can contact us by email, you can call us, but Facebook seems to be a real effective way to reach any of us. So, feel free to do that.
And for our delegates that are coming from Iraq, all the information that you guys have sent me, thank you very much for doing so. And I have forwarded that on to the embassy, and I'm just waiting to hear back from them. So I'm hoping to hear back today. So,
and as soon as we hear something,
I will definitely I will let all of you know immediately. because I know they're trying to help facilitate you guys getting your visa appointments.
All right. How'd we do? Good?
Unless something new has just come in.
All right. So takeaways from today's broadcast. Research your action plan issue. Only bring what you can carry. And those are really my only 2 takeaways right now.
Is there a library within walking distance of the dorm?
No. There may be. I don't think
There's
it's on
one
campus.
there is a library on campus. I just don't know what the times are. The times change for the summer, so I'm not exactly sure what time the library hours are, but we can find out from Wheelock that information. And can we have an example of an action plan?
Yeah, we can certainly give you an example of an action plan, but I don't want you to. They range. They're so different, and it really depends on what your issue is and what you're able to do when you go home. So I don't want to create more anxiety by giving you like our premier action plan example, thinking that you have to live up to whatever standard that looks like.
Right. We're also going to have some examples. We're going to pull some examples and put them in the binder that you guys are going to get when you first get to the conference.
Right.
But like Tricia said, they have been really vast, and it's different for every single person.
There's no right or wrong.
Right. Exactly.
There's no great action plan. There's no bad action plan. The only bad action plan is no action plan. So really, I can't stress this enough. This is not just a week-long conference. This is something that we want you to build your skills so that you can go home and do something. That's why you applied. Every single one of you. I mean, we've read your applications. Every single one of you want to do something when you go home. And we're going to show you how to do that. So, in terms of an action plan, it could literally be you starting off with just having a conversation about a topic that one is not popular and people don't really want you to talk about. It could be a documentary. I mean, we had one young woman from Lebanon who did a fantastic, 15-minute documentary about what women are thinking in the Arab world. And, she talked to everyone from a person on the street to, a professor to a woman-owned business. So, and it was just to really shed a light on what women are thinking and, what are their hopes? What are their dreams for the future? We've had, again, I've said it before, I mean, we've had, just class assemblies talking about Women2Women or talking about the issues that impact women. Again, it's a starting point. It's to get you started on something. And again, we're going to talk about what does an action plan look like. We're going to take you through the process. So you don't have to, what you have to do before you come here is to understand your issue. And, even look into organizations that are working on it in your country. But you don't have to have a plan together, because that's what the week is about. It's to help you determine what that plan is specifically for you, because it's different for everyone.
Right. Like Tricia, there's no right or wrong answer. There's no right or wrong topics. It's what is important to you and what you want to do. So we just want to make sure that, and there's no right or wrong way to do things. Like Tricia said, we've had one girl who went in and she brought her friends together and talked about the importance of girls going to school. And then those girls went out and talked to their parents. And, now she's actually going out and talking to other families. So it started out small and it's becoming a little bit bigger. But, there's no right or wrong way of doing things.
Hopefully that answers that question. But, every time we mention action plan, people get very anxious because we can't, there's no real definite answer for everybody.
And you don't have to do it all before you get here. Like Tricia said, just make sure.
We actually don't want you to.
No. Yeah, that's what the week is going to help you to do. So just understand what your issue is and bring that information with you. And some of the skills and presentations that you have here are going to help you to create that action plan.
I will say this, and I don't know if we stressed upon this enough. The action plan is about an issue that you want to work on in your own country. So we don't want you working on an issue in a different country, even though that's a really important issue. It's what you can do in your own backyard, because you have to start there.
Okay, if my visa date is for more than 1 week, may I stay in the U.S. after the program?
Again, that will be left up to you. We're going to give you a round trip ticket, and from there, you can make your own arrangements. But we do not do that. Or Carrie would be spending every day just trying to, arrange travel for people, and that's just not what she does. Although that's happened.
And what is the time frame for each day?
Oh, you're going to love this. Again, I will give you that answer in a couple of weeks, but you can expect to be going strong from 7:30 in the morning until about 6 or
Well,
7 at
7:30
night.
is when breakfast is.
Right.
So we usually give you about an hour for breakfast.
That's true. A lot of people will skip breakfast.
Right, or some people decide to skip breakfast. So we have an hour time frame that you can have breakfast, and then the conference will start in after that.
Yeah, you can expect to start each day around 8:30, and if we're traveling to another campus, it could be even earlier. Now, in the evenings, you usually have your break for dinner. We'll try to leave you a little bit of time, but we do have some speakers that do come in the evening, and we're confirming those speakers now.
I think
These are long days. Again, you have a week to learn how to change the world, okay? Rest up.
Yeah, and we do encourage you to rest whenever you can.
Won't be during the week, but rest now.
And I know one of the things I know they haven't asked it, but I figure why not try it? What about shopping? I know we give them a little bit of time on the Sunday when they arrive. So
yeah, there's okay, so what will happen is you will have some time on Sunday. You may have some time in the evening. Now, where you are located, there are shops across the street, and there are shops. I mean, it's kind of a long walk, but Boston is for the most part, a walking city. And you can pretty much get anywhere on foot, or you could probably take some public transportation. And fortunately for you, we have some alums coming back from the Boston area that will definitely be a big help in getting you around. Having said that, you do not have a lot of time. So we will do the best we can on Friday afternoon after the action plan presentations. You will have some time to go shopping, but that's the bulk. That's the time I'm leaving right now.
And we do have curfew.
Yes,
there is a curfew that we do have. I know last year you had to be back on Wheelock campus at 10 p.m. and then you had to be in the dorm building at 11.
And we will check.
Oh yes, we do checks. And when I say in the dorm building, you can be visiting other people on different floors. That is fine. But you have to be back in that dorm building at 11. And we do have all female floors for all of our participants. So there will not be any males on the floor unless there is some kind of an emergency or there's an issue in the room that they need to fix something. And even then,
when you lock yourself out.
Yeah. So security is mostly male. So they might have to go up to let you into your room, but there are no males on those floors.
Okay. We are pretty strict about curfew. Oh, we have a question from our live audience, Doug Wicks.
Is it important to be punctual?
Another good question. I don't know if you heard this, but is it important to be punctual? Yes. You must arrive at every conference activity on time. Early is better, but definitely on time. We will find you. We will have staff members going.
We do go to the dorm rooms and we will knock on doors and we will. If you are not there, we will come find you.
You know, and the important thing is when we are traveling quite a bit off of campus, which is unusual. In the past, we've basically stayed at Wheelock College. If you miss the bus, you miss the bus. And if you miss the conference, then you may as well go home. So it is important to be punctual. And we are very strict on that. We're strict on curfew, but we're very strict on on being punctual. You have to be.
Yeah.
Again, a week to learn how to change the world. Be punctual.
That is all the questions that we've got. I think we did pretty good.
All right.
And like I said, we will have a second one. So, if a couple days from now you think of a question that we didn't cover, you can always email us, but we will have a second webcast, and that webcast will be within the next couple weeks, and it'll be after I send out all your travel information, because I know once you guys get that, you're going to have many more questions. So I will send you out an email to let you know when the next broadcast is.
If you have not applied for your visa, do so immediately. Please send us your confirmation and your visa interview date, especially if it's after the conference date, so that we can help you try to expedite your visa interview. Right. Again, we cannot book your tickets. If you have not received a scholarship, we cannot book your tickets until we know that you have a visa and that the conference fee is paid. And I believe if the conference fee isn't paid until July 24th, we're going to assume that you're not coming. So if you're not coming, please also let us know that.
Do we have average taxi prices?
What's
a 15-minute drive? It depends on where you are in Boston and how much traffic we're hitting.
This is a girl that's very serious about her shopping. She's like, I'm not walking. I'm going to get a taxi.
Yeah, I can't give you an actual estimate. I mean, it depends on where you're going within the city. It can be a $15 taxi ride. It can be upwards of $30. So
Share a
depends.
taxi, but don't be late coming back. And again, only what you can carry. Okay, so are we good?
I think we're good.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening to all this information. I know it's a lot. You're going to be getting even more information.
Yep.
So again, if you have questions, we're going to do the best we can to answer you right away. But please know that, we need a little bit of time. So if we don't get back to you in the first hour, we'll get back to you.
Definitely.
We are going to obviously prioritize. So if people are coming in with their visa issues and stuff, those are the people that we're dealing with first.
Yeah. And do we have any formal uniforms?
No.
No, you want to make sure you're comfortable, but you want to look appropriate. So, all
All right, that's good.
I think we're good.
Thank you. Live studio audience, thank you very much.
Right, and we will talk to you guys in a couple weeks, and we will see you in less than a month here in Boston.
Wow, time is flying. I better get to work. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you guys.